24 hours until the big announcement for Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, and VA beneficiaries. I have all the details and exactly what you want to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to focus on the next 24 hours and the big announcement that will be released directly impacting checks for about 70 million beneficiaries and the people I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Now, I do also want to take a little bit of time here in this video to clarify and answer some questions that I've seen down below in the comment section from some of you right here in the community who have been reaching out over the last few days asking about this announcement and what it means directly for your checks that come out from the Social Security Administration. Great questions. Let's get into it and focus on all this because the announcement is good, but I also want to clarify exactly what this means and how to digest all of this information because the initial information that will be released is again going to be very impactful, but at the end of the day, we've got to dig through that information first to find exactly what we want to know, okay? Anyway, let's get into it and talk through the details. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. There's the big old subscribe button down there. Make sure to hit that if you have not done so yet, as I'm here for you right by your side every single day, watching the latest details hitting the wire, including the announcement coming out tomorrow, doing all the necessary research and breaking it all down into these short videos, again, so you can stay posted on what's actually going on. As we all know, things are changing very rapidly right now. It's been a very busy and confusing time for the last couple years, and a lot of things are happening right now. It's a very, very busy time of year. Between now and the end of the year, like I've been saying for a while now, a lot of stuff is happening. So again, thanks for being here. I truly do appreciate your support. I want to do whatever I can to help you out through this time. Please subscribe down below, and I'll be here for you every single day, no matter what, advocating and helping you out as much as I possibly can. All right, let's get into it and talk about tomorrow. What's going on here? 24 hours, what is happening, and what we need to watch for with this announcement. All right, so here's what it comes down to. This announcement will directly impact the checks for 70 million beneficiaries, okay? It all comes down to the inflation report that'll be released tomorrow morning. Okay, inflation report, but wait, how does that impact our checks? It all comes down to the CPIW, okay? So here's what's happening. We're getting this inflation report. This is directly predicated on how much your COLA, cost of living adjustment, is going to be for 2024, okay? Remember, it all comes down to the inflation data for the third quarter of the year, July, August, and September, okay? So this inflation data that we're going to be getting tomorrow morning is going to be August inflation data. Very important. This is piece of the puzzle number 2, okay? We need 3 pieces of the puzzle, and we're getting piece number 2 right away tomorrow morning, okay? So as a result of that, we need to look through the details. Now, here's what I want to clarify on this. There's going to be an initial headline number that is released, okay? This is where some of the confusion comes in. Right away when this announcement is released, there's going to give us a headline number, 3.2%, 3.3%, whatever they happen to say. That is not the COLA, okay? That is not the announcement for the COLA, but rather that is the headline number. We need to dig in and we need to find the CPIW. That is the one that we want to look at, okay? The Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. That's the important one. However, even that number that we find, whatever it happens to be, 3.4, 3.7, whatever it happens to come in at, 2.9%, we don't really know what it's going to be. But that's also not the COLA. That is piece number 2 of the puzzle. We need to run that through the calculation and through the formula along with the other piece of the puzzle that we got about a month ago, and we also need piece number 3 that we'll be getting in about a month from now as well, okay? However, once we get piece number 2 of the puzzle, which will be released again tomorrow morning, then we can run it through this formula and get a very clear and probably a very close picture of what this COLA is likely going to be. Now, obviously, we can't narrow it down exactly because we don't know where the next piece of the puzzle is going to come in, as in the next data point that will be released in about a month. We don't know where that's going to come in at. But based on 2 data points, we can project very closely to where it's likely going to come in, okay? We can get a pretty clear picture. It's not going to be 100% because we don't know for sure. We can't, we're not fortune tellers. Let's just say that much. We don't know exactly, but we can probably narrow it down to a very, very small margin as far as a few tenths of a percent of where we likely believe it's going to come in at, okay? So that's what we need to watch for. So So I want to make that very clear. No, tomorrow is not the official announcement of the COLA, but rather it is data point number 2 that we need, as we need 3 data points, okay? This is very important stuff. And again, remember, this is like the one and only thing that fixed income beneficiaries actually get to look forward to each and every year, because it's finally a little bit of a raise to benefits. Throughout the rest of the year, it's a lot of talk and bills and packages and proposals, all kinds of things coming out of lawmakers. But a lot of that is just like, well, are they going to do something? Are they going to sit here and twiddle their thumbs and talk about it forever? What's going on with it, right? None of that is actually guaranteed. It's just a lot of talk to say, well, we might actually do this. Here's our latest proposal. Here's our latest ideas, all things like that, right? But when it comes down to the COLA, we don't need to wait for Congress to do this. We do not need to wait on them. We don't need to wait on the president. It has nothing to do with any of those people. It's all based on the inflation data, okay? It's automated. That's the best. Since 1975, it's been automated based on inflation versus Congress sitting around trying to figure it out on their own, okay? That is the cool thing about this. So, for almost 50 years now, it has been completely automated based on the inflation report. So that's why this is so nice. We don't need to wait for Congress. We don't need to wait for the president. We don't need to wait for any of those people. It has nothing to do with them whatsoever. So depending on what the COLA comes in at, if it comes in bigger than expected, there's probably going to be a lot of people saying, look, it's this party's work, right? They've done it, right? It's the president. He brought it. Nope, sorry, he didn't bring anything. They didn't do anything to do this. It's all about the inflation, okay? Unless we want to point the finger at them and say, look, they're the ones who brought the inflation, so I guess we can say thank you for boosting up the COLA, whatever it happens to be. And again, not taking political sides, I'm just simply saying, a lot of people like to point the finger and say, oh, it's this party or this person's, their work has provided a nice, healthy COLA. Well, depends how you want to look at it. If you believe that they've bumped up inflation, then sure, yeah, maybe we can say that it's their work that has created a high COLA based on high inflation as well, right? Making things more expensive and a little bit more difficult for everybody because we're paying much higher prices. So depends on how you look at it. But anyway, I've been seeing the questions and the concerns down below in the comment section saying things like, is this the official announcement? What do I need to watch for? Well, no, this is not the official announcement. That'll be coming in about a month, but what you really want to watch for is the CPIW. Now, this is not a data point that is generally talked about in the mainstream media. Generally, the mainstream media will say the headline number came in at whatever, 3.2, 3.4, 3.1, 2.9, whatever it happens to come in at. And that is what they talk about, the headline number. That's nice too, but we don't want to focus on the headline. We want to look at the CPIW, which you got to dig for a little bit. Once you find it, just because you have that data point does not mean that's the official announcement. You got to run it through the formula now, okay? That's why I'm saying about all this stuff and trying to clarify all this. Now, once I get that data point tomorrow, of course, I will come back and I will give you the latest breakdown on all this. And like I said before, once we have 2 of these data points here, we can probably project pretty closely to what the COLA is likely going to be. It's not going to be 100%, but it'll be very, very close. I can probably narrow down my projections that I gave you, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks or so ago, maybe a month or so ago now. I was out in a video and I gave you some projections, as in, based on the data that we had at that point, I gave you a range. It was a pretty tight range. It was only about a half a percentage point wide. I think I said like 2.9 to about 3.4% was the range I was giving you at the time. I think I can probably tighten that up quite a bit after we get that data point tomorrow. So we'll see what it comes in at, but I can probably come back and give you another projection after that, and I can probably tighten that up very tight, okay? Probably maybe 0.3%. I can probably give you a range there. And again, I could be completely wrong, but I'm just saying, based on the data we'll have at that time, we can probably narrow it down quite a bit, and we can start counting our pennies, right? Yeah, who doesn't like doing that, right? It's always nice to know, like, hey, what are we going to be looking at right now? It gives us a little bit of a better idea of what we can expect next year in 2024. So anyway, hope this helps you. Again, a pretty big announcement and a cool announcement as well, because here's the thing. Like I've been saying for a while now, I'm not really sure about you, but this is one of those things where it's like, it's a fun announcement because here's why. It gives us certainty that we know this is happening. Unlike all the bills, package proposals that we got out of Congress, those are also nice too, but it has no certainty behind it. It's just talk at that point, right? So we don't know for sure that it's going to happen. With the COLA, it is happening. This is a for sure thing. It happens every year. But remember, sometimes the COLA could be 0. 0 is also an option for the COLA. So Just want to point that out. But this year, it'll not be 0. It's going to be, somewhere around the high 2s to probably mid-ish 3s, somewhere in that range, based on what we know right now. Tomorrow, I can give you a totally different answer because it's going to be a lot more information that we'll have at our disposal at that point. So anyway, hope this helps you. Again, I will continue watching it very closely. I'm excited. This is great, right? It's nice to know that something's finally happening here, and we'll be getting that next data point. Anyway, hope this helps. Again, leave your comments, questions, your feedback down below. Stay tuned. I'll be back tomorrow and, more videos between now and then. I'll give you the latest information and breaking it all down and doing whatever I can to making sure that you understand what's going on here, answering your questions, your concerns, being here to advocate on your behalf, and just doing whatever I possibly can to work through the situation and just continue to be here for you as I promised I said I would do. Anyway, enjoy your day. Subscribe down below. Share the video with your friends, family, social media. Have a nice day. Go back and check out any of the other 4,000 videos here on the channel. And I'll catch you again later.